Oh, what was that? Oh, it's 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 playing somewhere. I didn't realize I had the window pop. I have like a whole craziness going on here. Hold on. There we go. That's better. We're back on another exciting episode of Starfleet So Hail. 2 in a day. You missed our animated series discussion that we just had an hour ago.
How far are you guys along with that?
We have 6 episodes to go. We just finished season 1
Oh my
today.
God.
Yeah.
I'm so late. I'm terrible.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's a great show. Fantastic show.
You're busy trying to prevent people from being arseholes and leaving carts full of supplies.
What kind of solution is that? That is not a correct solution. I'm sorry.
By the way, you're on ship mic, I think.
Am I?
Or it's too far away. I don't know. It's been a while since you've done this. So
Hold on.
Also, like, I'm much closer to the camera than you are.
Has that changed?
This is what people missed about our relationship, I'm sure.
Has it changed? Has my mic changed?
Oh my gosh, yeah, you sound much better. I'm apparently too loud too. I've got to lower mine. Let me try again. All right, this might be better. But you're too low now.
What do you mean I'm too low now? God
damn. Now I think your volume's much lower than mine. We got to kind of equalize you.
How do we do this?
You bring it closer. I think that's the easiest way.
Like this.
Oh yeah. Oh. That gave me some ASMR.
Hold on.
Tingles.
I'll go into my control panel here and I'll set up some some mic adjustments. Recording levels.
Audrey's in the audience. He says we took a 10-month break and he still can't keep up.
Does this sound better? Do I sound louder now?
No, that sounds better. Whatever that is.
This is better. Okay.
No, whatever was you did just a second ago when you said, "Does this sound better?"
It's still better, right?
Yeah, this is better. This is fine. I think this is fine. Jill, let us know if we sound equal or if I'm too loud still. Yeah, Jill agrees. By the way, torturing frontline employees is not cool. Yeah, who is that person?
Okay, so for context,
let's
get into this. Let's give context. Okay.
So there's a little sidebar about what we're talking
in Canada. There are like a couple of big names in like the grocery industry, and one of them is Loblaws, and they have a bunch of stores around. And I don't know what happened, but something in upper management, like a boss, did something not good. And people want to protest against that, which is fine. It's a very valid thing. But they decided that the best way to protest, so someone tweeted, what you got to do is fill up your grocery cart with like all of these, to be fair, they said non-perishables, right?
Right.
So cans and stuff, canned goods, what have you. And they said just leave it at the cash. And then all of the employees in the store have to go and put all the shit back. And like, this is how you're going to protest. And the big boss up top is going to be mad. And it's like, no, the big boss he doesn't care, right? It's not going to affect the guy. You're going to be affecting minimum wage employees that now have like this terrible task in their workday. They have to go and put everything back that they've just placed on the shelf. It's ridiculous.
And all because people are against these self-checkout lines or something, or is that
I don't know. It's because, it's a double-edged sword because like I work in the grocery business now, and on one hand you do take away employment by putting self-checkouts, but also it's because there are less and less people that want to do these jobs for minimum wage, because they're minimum wage jobs, right?
What is the minimum wage in your area?
I think it's around 16 Canadian, something like that, or 15 something Canadian.
I think that's lower than. I think the U.S. is finally catching up to.
In certain states, right? Because you guys don't have like a minimum wage. I think
the federal limit is still 7 something or 8. That's terrible. Whatever. Anyways, but yeah, what we really need is to tax all the billionaires and get a universal basic.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Now that we're done with that,
let's take the money from where the money is.
Is right.
And don't take the money from the poor.
Exactly.
They do not have the money.
They do. You cannot take blood from a stone, sir. It's impossible. So we're here to talk about Star Trek Section 31.
What?
A show...
I wasn't aware.
A movie Well, it was originally thought to be a show that was going to happen, and then Michelle Yeoh became like super hella famous and busy.
It was Bo Yeon Kim and Erica Lippold that was supposed to be the showrunners on this.
Were
The
they the
two,
showrunners or the lead writers?
I think they were supposed to be showrunners too. I think, if I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
mistaken.
cool. So yeah,
For context, for people that don't know, they wrote on Discovery and so I forget which episodes exactly, but I know that they wrote the Saru scented short treks episode. So yeah, they've got some cool ideas and what have you. And they were supposed to basically helm and lead the Section 31 show at the time. But yeah, she had her second coming, I would call it, right? Because she
Well,
was
I feel
already
like-
hella famous.
yeah,
She had a little downtime,
true.
and then she had her like her big comeback.
You're right. I take that back. She was already very famous. Actually, that's true because Michelle Yeoh, she was working steadily already. But yeah, she came to Star Trek, and then right after that, it kind of she had her second win, a new win to her career, and so yeah, so she's been very busy. But she came back. She's coming back. She's doing Star Trek. This movie, Section 31. It's going to be the first streaming Star Trek movie ever, which is interesting. Like,
Yes.
what was that? It feels like there's a lot of feelings behind that. Yes.
No, it's just I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see like what kind of route they're gonna go, because you could there's a lot of streaming movies that are kind of like cheapo and they're just made to be put on these streaming services. You know what I mean? Like some crappy like romance movie, whatever. But there are some films, on the other hand, I don't know, like The Irishman or whatever, that they are full blown projects. They're actual films. It's a real movie, quote unquote, right? It just so happens that they're released on Netflix or any streaming service, and I wonder kind of which route they're gonna go. I'm hoping it's the second. I would assume so, right?
Yeah, it's true. Father was saying that Bowie and Erica headed up a room and broke an entire season, I believe. And
Oh wow.
yeah, Cake is Eternal says, I just read the Star Trek Discovery Die Standing Again, which is about Georgia working for Section 31 and trying to escape Section 31 at the same time. I think it takes place between season 1 and 2. Oh, that's an interesting thing because she's kind of because she's like that's interesting. When does Die Standing take place? Does that take place after she comes back from? No, you said it takes place between season 1 and season 2, so never mind. That answers my question. So they need a follow-up novel, but I guess that's what the movie is. That's interesting. So then, yeah, so like, we don't really know much about the Section 31 movie. Let's see here. I think there's a description of the story, the plot, which is, hold on. I have it written here. Let's see. Tasked with protecting the United Federation of Planets, Georgiou also must face the sins of her past. So that's interesting to me because that means something from the Mirror Universe is going to come back to haunt her, because no one really should know her in the Prime timeline except for the Disco folks and Pike and a few other people. But also when we got that one, remember when Carl put her in the Mirror Universe like timeline or whatever to fix something of her past and all that stuff? We saw a flashback to this character named San. Do you remember all that? Like that
Vaguely. Is that her son?
I don't know if it's her son or her lover or who. She just someone in the audience, if you remember the details of what what that scene was, but I vaguely remember that it could have been maybe a lover or something when she was younger, when Emperor Georgiou was younger. So yeah, and then also so yeah, who knows? I wonder if we'll get more insight into that character, because that was a really interesting part of that whole storyline. That was a little nugget that they never or like a thread that never got followed up on. Do you remember what I'm talking about? San? You don't remember?
I do. I vaguely remember what you're talking about. There was one episode where they went back to like it was kind of an alternate version of the mirror universe, right? It wasn't
right.
exactly the mirror universe, and
Or-
we couldn't figure out if it was a dream or if it was like a parallels type shit or like a Q kind of vision, like
I think
possibility realm thing.
right. We don't know if she actually changed events or not. I don't remember if we decided that. I hope we don't have
Do
to
we know who
rewatch
the actor was
to
for that?
see that. That's funny. What's that? Sorry.
Do we know who the actor was for San?
No, let me see if I can find a picture.
Was there an actor? Were they mentioned?
Well, we know who the actors are for the movie, but let me see if I can find out who played San.
So in this film,
San was played by what's that? Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think there will be a villain in this film, or do you think they're gonna try and play this a little differently?
So it's definitely going to be action packed. I mean, there's going to be an antagonist at least, right?
Okay.
Do you think the I mean, my thing that I would be really into is if the antagonist to Section 31 is Starfleet Intelligence. It would be really cool to see Starfleet Intelligence go up against Section 31 and always like once like they're each of them are at odds with each other, but also they also have the same goal. But it's just that we know Section 31's like super sketchy and shady, so it'd be neat to see. I think that would be neat. So maybe
I
the
agree with
antagonist
you.
could be.
Yeah. So building off of that, because my desire, because I'm still me, people. I haven't been around for a long time, but I'm still kind of canon concentrated here. I would desire the kind of like Section 31 that we know in Deep Space Nine, which is like a super covert thing. Not too many people know about it. Big secret, hush hush. I would like that to become a thing. And I still believe that this project has the power to kind of transition from the Section 31 that we see in Discovery into what we see in Deep Space Nine later. So building off what you just said, they could kind of do that. They could do like Section 31, Starfleet Intelligence, very antagonistic. They've got their own kind of ways of doing things. And so by the end of it,
like,
Section 31 underground, basically.
I dig that. Because we know Section 31 has their own ships. We know Section 30, like from everything from Discovery, right? Like season 2. Like,
do you think they manufacture their own black leather?
I don't think I think it's
they synthesize leather. They synthesize it. Yeah, you're correct. You're very correct.
Father says I'm on the same page as Toddy. So yeah, he agrees with that. That's cool. Audience, tell us what you think. Is that a good idea? Section 31 versus Starfleet Intelligence? Like, is that something you'd like to see, or tell us your theories?
I'm gonna go off and assume something here. I'm gonna assume that San was supposed to be Asian, based on the name. That doesn't really mean anything in Star Trek.
That's true, but I think also that we saw the character. I could have sworn. I might be remembering wrong.
Because there was an Asian actor that's been cast, that's been named in the article talking about the film that's going to come out. But he is a lot older. Man's 47. But could he be an older version coming back for revenge because she betrayed him? She betrayed his love or something like that.
Oh, not only that. Here's something. Well, it seems like in the Mirror Universe, San died, like somehow tragically died. But there might be a prime timeline version of San that Giorgio meets,
and he wants nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
because he's like, you're terrible.
Yeah, you're the worst thing in the like I don't
what. How could I fall in love with you, right?
That might be
changed.
Oh, here we go. San was played by, I was trying to look this up. I don't know why I couldn't find it on Memory Alpha, but yeah, San was played by someone named Jalil Swabi. So let's look them up.
Okay, so it's not the same ethnicity as the actor that I'm talking about.
I love our audience. They know everything. I know. That we know. Like
everyone's so helpful. It's a community effort.
This is a community effort. I feel like this show is it's like way better because of you all. Thank you. Her beloved long dead son was in the book, so I'm guessing they were a lover. So yeah, that's cool. She dreamed of her younger self practicing fighting with San and others. Ah, interesting. Oh my gosh. There's some interesting things there to build a story off of. Do you think they took anything from the show that was developed? I'm sure they did, right? Like they had to, like.
Maybe. It depends. Are Erica and Boyon Kim, are they still like very much involved with this?
I feel like they've completely not talked about Star Trek in a long time. I haven't seen either of them like tweet about Star Trek. I haven't seen their names pop
In
up
a very
everything
in a
like
very
that.
cynical way. If you use anything that they wrote, you have to credit them, right?
Of
And
course,
I
yeah.
don't know if like do they want to go with completely new writers and not credit them and not have like not need to hassle with paying that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
But I mean, if they broke a whole season, like,
but then, like technically speaking, even though we're talking about heavily serialized seasons, the pacing and the structure and everything, like the story that you want to tell in a season, is very different from like a film, right?
yeah, that's true.
So maybe they're just going like because now I would assume that back when they were like breaking the season and developing the show,
Sorry about that.
how dare you?
God dare you.
I would assume that they were kind of like they were going to use sets that they had going on Discovery, etc. For this film, I'm assuming they're going to build everything from scratch, right? They probably don't have those Section 31 bridges sitting around anymore, or maybe they do, but maybe they've repurposed them or redressed them.
That's possible.
So they're probably going to build everything from scratch again, right? And what kind of aesthetic, what kind of vibe are they going to go for? Are they going to go for those early Discovery? Or
that makes me wonder, like,
New Worlds looks like now.
That makes me wonder, are we going to go back to the same exact time period, or does Giorgio? I think we talked about this. Was it last night on Text Trek? We weren't talking about Section 31 specifically, but I think we were talking about how Giorgio just needs to go back to a time that's closer to the point where she left the mirror universe. So like that could, 900 years in the future is what was causing her to glitch out because she was too far away from her incursion. I'm going to call it an incursion point. I don't know if just going to make that up right now. So it was too far away from her incursion point. But what I was thinking is it would be really neat if they went to this era. Like, see my badge here, Toddy? It would be really cool if they went to that Lost era. Because if you have to build new sets and everything already, because I guess they could take place during Strange New Worlds. Yeah, so they could just do Strange New World type of stuff. But I imagine that Section 31, is going to look and feel different. I kind of think it would be interesting if the show took place later than Strange New Worlds. Like it would be neat if it took place after, either around about the film era.
I want Tellarites too.
I want Tellarites as well. Yeah.
I also think it would be cool to kind of because we know that Section 31 are kind of responsible for technological advancements in the universe. Communicators, universal translators, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing like how that kind of affects how technology advances in universe. I would like that. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Father is also saying they're shooting in the building where the disco sets were, and when they are done with Section 31, Starfleet Academy will begin production there. Okay. Next door to Strange New World sets.
Wouldn't you just love to visit that Star Trek building?
Yeah, you're like so close, and you never.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna drive up. Yo, Alex, open the door.
Just go to the studios and stand outside with a giant sign that says "Trek on the Tube." Let me in.
Let me in. Trek on the Tube. Let me in.
I bet someone knows who you are. Like
that's why they won't let me in.
That's probably too. By the way, I'm looking at the actor who played San on Discovery, and they should just bring him back for this. But he's not in the movie. But
no, he's not. Yeah.
Shall we talk?
To be fair, we didn't see his face.
No, we did not. Just his hand.
We just saw his hand, so they could. You can recast someone if you've only seen their hand, right? They recast people even if we've seen more.
That's totally true. Let's talk about the cast, Toddy.
Woo!
So first of all, the director is Olatunde Osunsami. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he's gonna direct and produce. And then let's see here.
He's directed a lot of recent Star Trek, like a lot of Discovery.
Yeah, I would say that he is probably he's probably one of the more prolific ones. And yeah, his nickname, everyone calls him Tunde.
Mm.
I like that, Tunde. So we have, let's see, I don't know any of these actors. Maybe you know some of them. Do you know who Omari Hardwick is?
Omari Hardwick.
Yeah, have
No.
you ever seen anything?
No.
Let's look up their IMDb credits real quick. Omari Hardwick. All right,
There's
so
one that I do know.
you do
because I
know
was-
one of the.
Yeah, we'll get to him when we get to him. But
Okay. Yeah, I've never.
Tunde, by the way, I think is a technically a good director.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
really
he does a
great.
good job. I think that, and I might be mistaken, but I do think that when they're doing the shows, they kind of have like a standardized way of directing that they're supposed to follow. You can't really go off and do your own thing too much. They kind of, I guess, they give you guidelines of how they want things to be. Even if everyone has their own little, like, you can tell when Jonathan Frakes directs something, you can tell when it's this director, that director. But I do think they have a general like set of guidelines. Here it'll be interesting to see, because this is his film, right? I guess he can direct it the way he wants.
Yeah, totally, 100%. I agree. Regarding Omari Hardwick, the only thing I recognize him from is Kick-Ass, the movie Kick-Ass. He plays Sergeant Marcus Williams. But other than that, I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
Kick-Ass in a long time.
Such a good movie. Have you seen Kick-Ass 2?
Yeah, that's not such a good movie.
No, it's not as good as the first one. Is there going to be a Kick-Ass 3? I hope so. I love that actor.
He was in Dawn of the Dead, apparently.
The Dawn of the Dead, like the original, like back in the day?
No, not the original. Dawn of the Dead, the 2004. The Zack Snyder one.
There's one in 2004 that came out with that Zack. 2004?
Yes. By Zack
wow.
Snyder.
I didn't know that, but apparently he's also in.
It's regarded as a very good remake.
He's also in Army of the Dead, which came out in 2021. So he likes to be in things that are of the dead. I think you're I think Zack Snyder is Army of the Dead, and that came out in 2021, not 2000.
No. Army of the Dead is the other movie that Zack Snyder did. Something of the Dead.
Of the Dead. So guess what? Omari's in that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently, according to IMDb.
Okay.
I don't see Dawn of the Dead on here, though, on his credits. Oh, because I didn't press see all. Oh my gosh. Omar, there's like a whole lot of films. He was in the
That guy's a working actor. Man's in like a million movies. Like, no, I don't.
Movies. It's true.
I know nothing. I know nothing of this. Come on.
Well, his first film was in 2000. It's called Barbecue, so that's interesting.
Yeah, Steven's right. Father, he says Zack Snyder did both. He did.
Yes.
And they are unrelated. They're both zombie movies, but they are unrelated.
So that's Omari Hardwick. Do you know Casey Roll from anything?
No.
She or they. Let's see here. What are they now?
Oh, it says Hannibal, but I haven't seen that yet.
Apparently, the new Hannibal.
Apparently it was a good show.
Let's see here.
It's finished now, right?
The new IMDb is like so weird. It's like kind of annoying. Oh, here we go. No, okay. I don't know. I like IMDb when it was just the facts. Like, I don't need all these extra things. IMDb,
the facts.
Like, yeah, I just want to know what people were in. I don't want to have to like click 3 or 4 different places. But anyways, let's take a look at what.
You don't like the auto launching clickbait videos and
everything
that they've got going on?
Yeah, or the Vision Pro ads that are everywhere, by the way. They're like hella trying to sell this thing, which I am going to get one.
I can't wait to see you in that. You look like a doofus.
I will look like a doofus, but I'll be very excited because did you know that the Roddenberry archive already has an app?
Yeah, well, I saw it was mentioned on Twitter, right, recently?
Yeah,
On
so
X.
Otoy, which has been doing these phenomenal videos for the Roddenberry archive. So apparently you'll be able to just like go into the Enterprise and kind of explore it.
And
They
did
were
you
showing
see the
some stuff.
Disney holodeck floor?
Yeah, I did see that. So yeah, we're
So
everything.
you're gonna put your goggles on, and you're gonna walk around on your holodeck floor in the Enterprise D, and you'll never come out. You'll do a Barkley and get addicted to it.
It's 100% true. That's exactly what I'm gonna totally do. So yeah, exactly. I have to figure out how to put do not disturb on my phone here. Hang on a second, because that's like
Isn't that something like you just flip it upside down on the screen and then it auto activates the
is that
do
what your
not
Android
disturb?
devices do?
I think that's what the Google ones do.
There. No, I won't get interrupted anymore. That was Starfleet intelligence calling me. That's literally what it was. So let's see here. So let's see. White Lie, haven't seen it. Sisters and Brothers, haven't seen it. Red Riding Hood, I think that's a horror movie that came out. And Wayward Pines. So I don't know Casey from anything either. Do
No.
seen any of those movies? Nope. All right, let's move on to the next performer. Sam Richardson.
Aha.
Is that who you know? Is that the
Yes.
actor? Yeah. So what's up with Sam?
Sam was in a show called Ted Lasso.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, he wasn't a main character or anything. He just had a small role. I think in season 2 and 3. But he was great in it. He was. I think he has a lot of comedic value.
Oh, he's on
And-
Veep also.
and a lot of charisma. So I'm
Very
very
cool.
happy to see him.
He seems like he has a good thing. I didn't realize that's cool. History of the World Part 2. I'm still have to see that. He's
It
in
was
that
in
as well.
Hocus Pocus 2, apparently,
Wow, yeah.
but I don't remember anything from that.
He was a villain on Lasso. Oh, he was the billionaire. That's right. I remember. That's right. He's also been on Star Trek Lower Decks in 2 episodes. He was the voice of the Vendome. That's cool. The Harlequin animated series, which Father E has been trying to get me to do. Let's see what else. Let's see.
People are saying villain. Did you say villain in Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if there's villains in Ted Lasso.
If there is one, it was that billionaire guy who was a jerk. No, that was a good cameo. It was a good performance, actually. I thought that was funny. Ted Lasso is a great show. Very cool. Okay, so next up on the list is Sven. I might be saying this wrong. Ruigrok. So Sven Ruigrok. Let's see what Sven has done in the past. Let's look him up. Don't recognize him. Do you, Toddy? Do you, audience?
No.
You guys know him? Nope. Sven is known for One Piece. Are you watching that, by the way? I'm dying to see it. I still have to watch the animated series.
I won't watch One Piece.
You won't watch it, or you?
No.
Oh, what is that? What is going on there?
I'm just not interested. For years people were like, read the manga, and I was like, I got other manga to read. I'm not reading One Piece. And then for years people were like, watch the anime. No, I got other anime to watch. And now there's a live action, and they're like, no, I got other live action stuff to watch. I don't know. One Piece is just not something that interests me.
I'm looking at his picture on One Piece, and I feel like I need to watch this. He's like not wearing a shirt.
Okay, that's all. That's all it is.
That's all it takes for me. That's it. He's like, I think One Piece is all about pirates, so he probably plays a pirate on One Piece.
I think it's like a how can I put this? This may be a goofy take on pirates. A bit tongue in cheek, I think. It's not exactly pirates. You know what I mean?
I want
There's more of a fantasy aspect to it.
I think pirates in Star Trek are really cool, especially Orions. I think they should do a pirate.
How dare you stereotype Orions like that? Have you learnt nothing from Tendi? Jesus, man. I agree, though. I think a pirate show would be great.
So okay, next Robert Kaczynski.
But I want space pirates that actually like have the
Do
sails.
stuff?
No,
What do
like
you mean,
the
like sails on their ships?
yeah, like the bloody Bajorans, right? They used to go sailing, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
And so you get these sailing pirates.
They would be decorative though, because you don't need them to like warp around and stuff like that. Oh
Didn't
wow,
they
there's
used to
like so many
didn't they
chats
used to
that I didn't see.
Didn't
What's
they
that?
used to catch the radiation eddies or the radiation currents or whatever it was to actually move?
No, it was maybe, I don't know. I don't remember the technology, how the technology worked. I was trying to get you to watch the Birds of Prey movie, but I gave so that's so terrible.
I could feel the guilt. Oh.
Probably because all Trekkies went at once. Got to try again. What website was that? Oh, okay, gotcha. The one for Section 31. Father was asking earlier, didn't Brian Fuller do Hannibal? I think it had an episode
think
about
he
a
did.
serial killer named Paul Stamets who grew shrooms in the corpses of his victims. Really?
Oh, how interesting. That's
Hmm.
probably what the Mirror Stamets was doing in his free time.
Oh, that's sad. I didn't know that Our Flag Means Death got canceled. That's
Yeah,
sad.
Flag Means Death will only run has only run 2 seasons.
So the next actor is Robert Kaczynski, who I also don't recognize, but he was in Captain Marvel. Was one of the biggest things that they're known for. EastEnders. Wow. Did you ever watch that one? The show EastEnders, the British.
No, I've never seen the EastEnders.
I love their theme song. Dun 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 dun. You don't know it? No, you got it.
I know it, but I know it from like a different context.
Gotcha. He was also in Pacific Rim, your favorite movie.
I love Pacific Rim.
I know. I don't know if it's your favorite, but I knew you loved it. So
It's not at all my favorite film, but I love Pacific Rim 1.
And that's about the most famous thing.
He says he was in The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. He says he was in the 3 Hobbits actually.
Oh yeah, he played an orc. That main orc guy.
The main orc guy?
Or like one of the orc guys.
Hold on, you can't just say he was like a hobbit, an orc.
He's also handsome, but although all of these people are very attractive that they've cast, by the way, for this.
He's bloody Feely. He's a hobbit.
Oh, why do they have a picture of
actual hobbit?
They have a picture of him with like on IMDb next to this orc-looking character, so that's why I made that assumption.
No, he's Philly.
He's Philly?
Apparently.
Let me look here. He's handsome.
I mean, Philly was a good-looking hobbit, I'll tell you that.
Oh. No, look, they show... Wait, let's see. What does this say here? Oh, sorry. That's Warcraft that he plays an orc in. He was in... Starfleet Sohail is totally giving misinformation.
Oh, no. He was originally cast to play Philly.
Oh, okay.
And then he wasn't.
So he plays like a... Are they called orcs in Warcraft? I forget. Or are they like something else?
Yeah, I think they're just orcs.
Sohail likes hairy feet. I actually do think that hairy feet are interesting to look at. So, all right, so here's the next performer, which is...
I love how you skipped on that so fucking quick.
It's not the After Dark show. We gotta save some stuff for
After
After Dark.
fair enough.
So,
hairy feet stay after dark.
After Dark. It's true. Humberly Gonzalez is... Let's see. I don't recognize them either. I'm looking at their Yeah, nothing. I don't recognize. Man, I'm so behind on like TV and movies. Like,
She was
there's
a
so many.
Nobody. Nobody's cool. You haven't seen Nobody?
No, I don't think I have seen that. What is that?
Nobody.
It's got the guy from Better Call Saul in it.
Yes,
Bob
it's an action.
Odenkirk.
It's an action film with Bob Odenkirk. He was very proud to say that he did all the stunts. He learned all the stunt choreography.
Really?
But it's directed, and I think it's the whole team, not just the director, but it's directed by the guy doing the John Wick series at the moment.
Ilya Naishula.
It was cool. She was in Slumberland, which is that weird movie about like entering dreams or whatever it is with Jason Momoa. That was
I know the series
bizarre
Orphan
movie.
Black. She was in that, and that's about it. And then last but not least, as far as the announcements are concerned, because of course there are probably going to be some surprises and cameos and things like that, which I want to hear who you think might show up. But aside from that, let's see what James Hiroyuki Liao.
He was in Star Trek Into Darkness. Apparently.
Oh, okay. I also don't recognize anything that he's been in other than Star Trek Into Darkness. Oh, Iron Fist.
Prison Break.
What was that movie?
The show Prison Break. You don't remember Prison Break?
I don't think so.
Okay, it was a big thing in the 2000s.
Let's see here. Star Trek Into Darkness. I know
he had a somewhat recurring role. I think, but he was much younger then.
It says 8 episodes, so you're right about that. And Frankenweenie. Nice.
He was in the recent Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins film that I think no one in the world has seen.
But it's out? Like, or you just mean that like it got ignored?
It came out in 2021.
I never saw it.
No one has.
You saw it, I guess.
No,
right?
I don't. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Snake Eyes? Maybe we should watch that together.
Why? What is the reason behind?
I love that character.
Yeah,
Snake
fair
Eyes
enough.
is awesome.
Fair
enough. We'll do an impromptu stream about Snake Eyes. So that's the cast as we know it. I don't know them, but they all look cool. They all have really good credentials.
So who's the Badmiral in this bunch?
Well, it can't
be. Who's the Starfleet Intelligence Connect?
That's funny. We're trying to figure out. We have no idea. We're just going to be completely making up stories. So I don't want to speculate yet.
This is all canon, people.
Yeah, I'm sure Star Trek's going to do one of those things where they're like, "Oh, this character," they'll put out character dossiers. Maybe pretty soon. I think.
Maybe they'll do what they did in like episode 1 of Discovery. They'll kill them all immediately, and they're like, "No, we got another cast. Deal with it."
That's true. They did do that in Star Trek Discovery. That's pretty funny.
Sam Bartolomeos. I had this whole thing. I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be out." They kill him. I'm like, "Okay, all right, I guess
But he came back. He came back, and
he did come back.
He did come back.
But I had a whole, thing.
I know you were really into that character, weren't you?
Yeah.
So okay. I don't want to speculate as to who anyone's playing because we don't even know where it's set. We don't know like enough information for the speculation, but I will say that
I think that really Sam Richardson will be Emperor Jojo. I love how the joke didn't even register.
Because I don't get it. Like, what do you mean he's gonna be Emperor Jojo?
Because we know who's playing Emperor Jojo. God damn it!
Oh, you meant to say Michelle Yeoh.
No, I wanted to say Sam Richardson.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not getting it, but it's fine. I get it now. It's funny now. It's funny. Right. You're funny. Okay. You're hilarious. You're so funny. But I do think that like now that I've read that little bit about sins of her past, like I do think there's going to be a San character. Do you think time travel will be a part? Do you guys think that time travel will be a part of the show?
I would think so. And if not time travel, it'll be like parallel universes, dimensions or whatnot.
Do you think it'll be like kind of like we'll see other dimensions other than like kind of like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, where like they're hopping from like alternate timelines to alternate? No, okay.
I don't. Well,
no,
I don't
No.
think so. I don't think so, because if you do that again with Michelle Yeoh, you're kind of setting yourself up to be compared to Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you don't really want to do that.
Oh yeah,
I think you would want to make
right.
this a bit distinct. Like
Yeah, good call. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. It would
if you do different times, I guess, or if you do just a couple parallel universes, there's precedent for that in Star Trek. So, but if you're really jumping around to all of these different universes, well, different, I don't know, maybe it's a little close.
Do you think Carl is going to be a character in the show, or do you think that he just sent back the Garden of Forever? I call him Carl because that's his name in Discovery. But
okay, so to answer that question, first, what do you think this movie will be specifically directed at a very Star Trek kind of literate, I guess, audience, or to a grander, more general audience that doesn't know that much about Star Trek and the lore? What direction do you think they're going with it?
I would guess, because of Michelle Yeoh being the headliner, that they're going to try to use this opportunity to cast a wider net and bring in more fans.
So no, based on that, I think there will not be a Guardian of Forever or a Carl or any of that. I wouldn't think so.
Really? You think that Carl's like too obscure to bring into the?
No, I just think that they wouldn't need to hassle themselves with that if they do want to do like temporal shenanigans or parallel universes. They would just be like bloody blah technobabble, like we can do it, we have the tech,
we have the technology. That's what they used to say, I think, on the
look at our black badges and our black shoes and our black vests. we can do it.
we can do it. Yay. So yeah, I don't know. I think that like, yeah, maybe he just throws her back in the past and then that's it. We don't think that there's no announcement about Shazad Latif coming back. So Ash Tyler is not, as far as we know, not going to be in this. Now, this disappointed my mother when I told her about it. I said, Mom, they're doing a show called Section 31. She didn't even know what that is, or like had no interest. I said, do you remember Shazad Latif from Discovery? She's like, oh yes. She got so happy. I said, well, he's not in it as far as we know. And then she got
what kind of, you just mentioned the guy so that she's happy and then sweep the rug away. Well, he's not in it. How'd you feel about that?
I wanted to see, and she was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch it. That's what she said. And I was like, that's a lie, because she watches everything Star Trek with me, but that's fine.
She does that because she's a good mother.
And look, Jill says, I want Kovich and Ash. Do we think that Kovich is like the Section 31 of the future? And like that would be interesting. I kind of like that.
That would be a good call, because that would be, you wouldn't need to announce him so much as like a cast member like all of these other people, but you could have him there as a cameo. It still gives you kind of a name to put in the thing. His performance was great, right? The character was very intriguing. I think it would be an interesting thing to do, and you have to start the story off somewhere. And where they have to start it off from where now?
What other cameos would you like to see in Section 31?
The Sisko.
And that goes for the audience too, by the way.
I would like to see the Sisko.
Oh my gosh. But like that would be amazing. Do you think, what about
that would make it the most watched Star Trek movie? Everyone would be like, okay, we're watching this now.
I think like, again, it's not going to be set in, it may not be set in the right time, but like some folks were throwing around Bashir coming into it somehow, because he gets involved with Section 31 on the show, but also in the expanded Star Trek universe, he's very involved with Section 31.
Fathery says, I'd like to think by the 31st century, Section 31 no longer exists in any form. So I think
I'd like to think that too, Fathery, but
yeah,
I think that they do exist, because it seems to be a hot property. Like people
you guys are coming at it from like a ethical, moral standpoint, like we've grown past that. I think it no longer exists simply because the Federation and Starfleet was so dismantled that like the remnants of Section 31 it disappeared, right?
Right.
So they're rebuilding, and I think the Section 31 people haven't yet gotten around to rebuilding the section. If that makes sense.
That's okay. That kind of makes sense. Benji says Bashir, but only if he mentions his wife Garrick, which I love. And then Cake says Malcolm Reed. That's right.
Yeah,
Because
you know what? You know what? Gay Garrick as a cameo in the movie would make Trekkies go insane.
Well, it's gonna happen. I mean, it's already confirmed by Andrew Robinson that Garrick is gay, but yeah, 100%. Malcolm was involved with Section 31 as well, and that reminds me that there's a lot of fan theories that Trip Tucker is also working for Section 31 and didn't actually die. It would be really cool to get a confirmation of that somehow on the Section 31 show. Even if they don't appear as cameos, it'd be neat to have mentions of former operatives. And if they mention Trip Tucker, that gives all of us Trip Tucker with with sprinkles on top fans.
So, in the recent season of, was it Discovery or Strange New Worlds? No, it was, no, I'm so stupid. It wasn't Picard, right? There's that facility where they have all of those people in.
Oh yeah,
Jaws,
that was a
right?
Section 31 facility, right? Or was Starfleet Intelligence? I can't remember.
They've pickled all of these Star Trek people, right? Right?
Yeah, they had. Yeah, it's true.
So maybe we could go back to that place and they could pull people out. No, I don't think they're gonna want to do that though. I don't think they're gonna want to do too many cameos or go down that route. We've had a very nostalgic season of Picard. I think that both Prodigy and Lower Decks in their own way are kind of like cover the kind of cameo.
Yeah.
I think that they're gonna want to do their own thing. I think very much so.
They just added Dominic Keating to the Trek cruise, so he is not going to be in Toronto much this month. I don't think he is in it. Okay, good point there.
So everyone that Father E hangs out with, they're not in the film.
Well, he hangs out with us, so we're not in the film. So that's really good.
Well, I can confirm that here and now. I'm not in the film. In case you were wondering.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my goodness, he signed an NDA.
No, I wish nuts. I wish I were in the film.
It's absolutely nuts.
The only thing I might be on.
You're the villain.
I am the villain. If Terry Matalas remembers, he did somewhat promise Father and I that we would be in Star Trek Legacy, but I don't know if he'll remember.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't he, Father? I feel like that was something that was said. I don't remember the exact details of it. Cake says Keating looks very different as well, not the Starfleet poster boy. That's true.
Well, this ain't your granddaddy's Starfleet poster boy.
Or here's one. I like this section of who do we think might show up. In Ten and Kira, they could do a lot of great recruiting in the Mirror Universe. They can get evil clones of whoever they want to infiltrate other agencies. That's true. That's interesting. But again, do all the signs point to that it's going to take place in the Disco Strange New Worlds era? It just depends when it takes place.
Do we think this project is going? Do we think the story is going to be very big in scope, like in scale? Is it going to be universe altering, and we have to save it, or do you think it's going to be more like self-contained, kind of like ground level Black Ops kind of stuff?
I think it would be cool if it was like a time heist type of
heist.
Yeah, like some kind of like, some kind of like you need to hop around time to grab little things that.
So Agent Daniels cameo.
Could be in it as well. Yeah, it's true. Is that actor still working?
Or just Janeway again, right? Stop messing with time.
I mean, I'm always not ready for time travel stuff, but then when it happens in Star Trek, I always end up liking it. So it's kind of like
okay, I would prefer to not ever have to deal with time travel ever again. I mean, that's been
Mainly
my
because your
position for a while.
timeline, your time, because of your
Yeah,
timeline.
also because of that. But I've kind of accepted the fact that I would probably, we're probably gonna get something time related in this, right? The nature of Section 31. So it's not the
Well,
Section 31 that makes me believe there will be time travel or parallel universes. Section 31 itself, they're really just Black Ops kind of stuff. They're doing not very moral or ethically good things. But it's mainly the Michelle Yeoh involvement or the Emperor Giorgio involvement that gets me thinking about time travel and what have you. Based on the fact that she's from a different place, like a different universe, a different time, etc., etc.
there's so many possibilities of these like kind of other agencies or other aspects. We have like Starfleet Intelligence. We have the Temporal Investigations. What is it? The Temporal. Oh gosh, Matt, my friend Matt's gonna kill me. TIA, right? Temporal Investigation Agency or something like that, right? The time cops, basically.
Yeah, I don't
So
know. The time police.
it'd be neat if Section 31, like what you guys were saying earlier, you and Fathery, about how we find out why they had to go underground. Maybe like Giorgio like completely does something crazy that forces Section 31 to kind of have to go underground because these other agencies are now chasing them and no longer support Section 31. So whereas Section 31 was like maybe not, not the most, not the most like Boy Scout organization, it was still part of Starfleet, but then we see how it became like the Kingsmen later on.
It could also be something
it
along.
is basically the Kingsmen. Like that's kind of like what it is. But still,
Do you enjoy the Kingsman movies?
I love those movies. I don't know why they're so stupid too.
They're terrible. They're just dreadful.
I think it's because of
especially the Kingsman. I was like, they can't get worse than Kingsman 2, right? It cannot be worse. They got this amazing cast, and then the Kingsman. What a dreadful film. I'm sorry.
DTI, Department of Temporal Investigations. Thank you, Father.
Maybe we could explore a time where the Federation is growing, and there are more and more different species, races, and cultures being integrated into the Federation and into Starfleet. And Section 31 has, for lack of a better term, maybe a more xenophobic or bigoted view on how all of this is happening, and maybe they're a little scared of what could happen with so many different cultures and what have you, and so they kind of like start getting too extreme in their ways, and so Starfleet wants to get rid of Section 31, and that's why they go underground or what have you.
Oh, okay, right on.
And you could kind of like metaphorically tie that into things happening today.
Cake says, do we know what year Emperor Giorgio came from? What was happening in the Prime timeline then? And then
that's basically Discovery Season 1, right?
Right. So Cake looked it up and says Emperor Giorgio was born in 2202. So, Toddy, this question's for you. What was happening on the timeline 40-ish years later?
What was happening? In what, 2202? Oh no, 40 years after that.
So 2242.
Well, that's basically Discovery, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, right? Star Trek 20.
No, Discovery was in like 56 or something.
Oh, you're right. According to Memory Alpha,
Giorgio was already running the Bloody Mirror universe at that point. Our Philippa Giorgio she was out recruiting Saru on the planet. You know what I mean? That's what she was doing.
According to Memory Alpha, Vader, a resident of the Kaldos colony, dies on the 23rd of September. That was in Sub Rosa 2242. A medical record seen in TOS where no man has gone before lists Gary Mitchell as 23 years old. If this was his age at the time of the episode set in 2265, that would mean he was born in 2242. It is unknown, however, if that record was from Mitchell's last psychological examination, which could have been several years prior, or if it was a more recent thing.
Okay, so now I'm gonna hit you with like a kind of controversial question here, like a hot one.
Go ahead.
Are you looking forward to this film because you're looking forward to this film, or are you looking forward to this film because this is kind of what you're getting?
Mm. I have a different answer.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
So I've never been a fan of the Section 31 stuff. I thought it was cool in Deep Space Nine. So I was always hoping this project would be dropped in favor of something else.
I guess I could have also asked, are you not looking forward to this film? But it seems like you are.
But after seeing Michelle Yeoh do the clapper thing, I don't know. I'm super excited about it all of a sudden.
Okay.
So I still am skeptical as to whether it's going to be a Star Trek film that I enjoy watching over and over again. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, something about this version of it, now that it's greenlit and it's happening, even though we don't know much, something about it is just exciting me, but I don't know why. Because I technically don't really care for Section 31. I personally like the main story of Star Trek. I know a lot of folks want to see Star Trek expand and go off and do other things, but I prefer a story set in Starfleet. That's just like what I really enjoy, and I'm really hopeful that one day we'll get like a new show that's set like kind of like what TNG did for Star Trek. I want to see that happen. I don't want to go back in time anymore, or like prequels or anything else. I just want to see something new. So that's my ultimate hope for Star Trek. But in the meantime, whatever you slap Star Trek on, I'm going to give it a chance. And this looks like it's it's going to be all right. What do you think? Especially now that why I have more faith in it. I just figured it out because of Michelle Yeoh's status at the moment. I think they have to do a better job at it.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you
Oh
know
yeah.
what I mean? That's what
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot riding on this. So I feel like, now it's the stakes are higher. In other words, it's not just like,
Michelle Yeoh probably has people, she not that she doesn't handle her own career, but she probably has advisors and managers and a team that are like, you're not doing this if this ain't up to par. Like if the quality is not there, you're not putting your name on it, because
right, exactly.
right now, like you said, you're in this up moment, this momentum. Let's keep it going. This traction. Let's not do this crappy little project. So So yeah, there was a confidence in that. When it comes to Section 31 and Mirror Universe and all of those kind of like more darker, almost anti-Star Trek concepts, dare I say, I understand why people don't really want to see those things highlighted in such a way as like a movie, right? I understand why people like it when it's just one little episode, it's one thing, and that's not what Star Trek is. Because ultimately, Section 31, Mirror Universe, those are not things that Star Trek wants to represent too much, right? But I have always kind of liked the fact that those could be movies, because it gives you a way to present those stories and appeal more to the action lovers and the killing and the destruction kind of flamboyance of a film without it being Star Trek itself. So you don't have to go out and make Captain Picard, drive on a buggy and shoot people. He can still be Picard, but you know what I mean? Like, you can do a
Nice.
movie and you have like an excuse, like, well, it's Section 31, or it's the Mirror Universe. So I think it's fine in that way. But I do think that it's delicate, and there's going to be something. It's going to be a delicate project to handle. I think they have to do it with I don't know. They have to. It's going to be complicated to do, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it does make sense. But something about this side, yeah, I'm optimistically. I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm optimistic about it. I'm actually kind of excited about it. Well, we're coming up to the hour, Toddy. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? Audience, let us know. I think we covered a lot. I mean, we don't really know much about the project, so this
I'm
was more of
excited
like
for
a,
every Star
yeah.
Trek thing always. Basically until I'm not. Like if it comes out and then I don't like it, then that's it. You know, I
And
don't
then you
like
might
it.
get
That's
excited about it
fine.
years later. That's how
Yeah,
I was
maybe.
about Enterprise, like
Maybe.
you know, and Voyager. Like I'm really enjoying Voyager now when I watch it and don't fall asleep.
But
So, yeah.
until it comes out, like I have no reason to be pre-angry, right? You know
You're
what I
not
mean?
one of
That
the
doesn't make sense to
the
me. It's
pre-anger.
like it's not
Have
out
you
yet,
seen?
bruh. It might not even come out. You know what I mean? Like let's not
No,
get
this
angry
is
now. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's filming. It's gonna come out. But yeah, I know what you mean, like about the pre-anger. Too many people have pre-anger.
I only have post anger.
It's post anger greater than pre-anger. It's true. well, well, let's see. We have only Toddy would think about being pre-angry. It's true. I guess the thing I also am surrendering to is that Section 31 is pretty much here to stay. It seems to be very popular. Like I agree with Jill earlier. Like the only time the Mirror Universe and Section 31 and these things have ever been interesting is like the first time that they happened. And then after that we haven't really gotten stuff because I feel the same about the Mirror Universe. I'm like, I could leave it behind. Although Disco did do the most interesting stuff since Mirror, I think, for the Mirror Universe. Like the Deep Space Nine stuff was cool, but it was like whatever. But what I guess I was saying is that you
I
know,
think that the Enterprise Mirror Universe double episode is really, really, really good.
it's good.
I don't agree with the Gorn too much. I also don't agree with the Strange New Worlds Gorn, but I think that the double episode themselves are pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, have you finally caught you finished Strange New Worlds finally?
I have
right?
finished Strange New Worlds.
Oh, cool. Well, if you're back, I have to do Lower Decks the last season. Like, I haven't done any discussions for those. Maybe we could start doing some,
my.
like, yeah, who knows? Because
I
you
don't know if
like
I'm
Lower Decks.
back.
I came back before you
I
did. But
missed
you left
you.
after I did. Aw, I missed you too. This
That's
is
what's
so
happening
nice.
here.
It's like we're on a date and everyone's witnessing it. Super cool.
It's a live date event.
It's a live date event, like a platonic date. Don't get crazy, everyone.
Come on, people.
Come on, people. Anyways, Toddy, I guess you kind of answered my next question, which is what's going on in
The
on
platonic universe.
Yeah, the platonic universe. What's going on?
They have to artificially inseminate people because no one's having sex in the platonic universe.
It's kind of where I want
Actually, no, everyone's having sex, but in a platonic way.
I don't know what that is. I have to think hard about it. That's what's going on platonic on the two. I mean, Trek. I meant Trek on the two. What's going on Trek on the two?
Yeah. They call on platonic on the tube. They call them plotty.
I like plotty.
Oh, plotty's even worse. Jesus Christ. Nothing is happening on my channel. I will share a behind the scenes story though because I find it funny.
Sweet. All right.
I don't mean to mock you, dear person, if you're watching this. I do hope you're having a great day. But a few months ago, someone started leaving comments on a lot of my videos. And it's nice. Usually what happens is there's a new subscriber, they found videos, and then so YouTube notifies me, they're leaving comments. And then eventually they got to my latest released video, which was months ago. And then they were like, the final comment was like, oh, so this channel's dead now. And I could feel the pain in the person that was like, they were really into these Star Trek species.
Did you tell them that
and
there's more coming, or direct them to the rest of our channels?
I forgot to reply for so long that eventually it felt awkward. You know, that's like
I'm gonna reply. I'm gonna go find that comment. I'm gonna reply.
So yeah. The channel maybe not dead, but it's
It's
you know it's on
not
it's on a
dead.
hiatus.
It's
I
on a
guess.
hiatus. I feel like you'll come back at some point. But in the meantime, it's
We'll
fun.
come back stronger. You know what
It's
I
fun
mean?
having you on this, Sean. You got to get ready because season 2 of the Lord of the Rings show is going to come soon, and we have to do
Yes,
our
we'll do
second
that.
breakfast series.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
cool,
do that.
very
That's
cool.
for
So
sure.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, it was so much fun having you. I'm sending you a big like air platonic hug here. Thank you for coming and joining me, and I hope the audience had fun speculating about Section 31 with us. If you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment below and let us know what you think.
Smash the like
Smash the like button. That's right.
button and smash your platonic friend.
And
I guess?
please
No, I'm sorry.
subscribe. We've been trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so that's we're trying to do that. You know, who knows? That's our pie in the sky goal there. So maybe we'll get there one day. So yeah, so that would be awesome. And go check out Trek on the Tube, even though it's a dead channel. And then...
There's a lot of videos on the channel that still function without the channel being currently active. That's the whole point of it. There's a lot of news videos that are outdated, but there's a lot of like database videos kind of stuff that's still, you know, they're still there.
Yeah, it's true. All right, live long and prosper, everybody, and we will see